Hello warriors, welcome to the channel. My name is Monica and the topic we are going to discuss today is about a recent development which took place in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly passed an act increasing the minimum age of marriage for women from 18 to 21 years. A similar initiative was taken by central government as well in the year 2021, but it didn't become an act. So here we'll discuss what are the problems associated with increasing the age of the marriage, what are the pros for it, why Himachal Pradesh did it, what are the reasons for it, and why center couldn't do it, that we are going to discuss today. So let's begin. I'm going to show you the newspaper cutout. Here you can see Himachal increases the minimum age of marriage for women to 21 years. Earlier it was 18 years. For the rest of the country, it is still 18 years for girls and 21 years for boys. So Himachal Pradesh is saying that it is a move for gender equality where they've increased the age of marriage for women to 21 years. So it is a move towards gender equality. The SDG goal here is SDG 5, Sustainable Development Goal 5. One more thing to notice here is the name of the act they have introduced. It is Prohibition of Child Marriage Himachal Pradesh Amendment Bill. The similar act was introduced in Lok Sabha as well, where it was the Prohibition of Child Marriage 2021 amendment. So the act couldn't pass and this one did. So Himachal Pradesh made an act on child marriage. One more thing to notice here is marriage. I'm going to erase this thing. So marriage and divorces are under concurrent list because state is also making an amendment and center also tried to make an amendment. So it is under concurrent list. This we need to remember. Now moving forward, Himachal Pradesh did it. Similar attempt by center. The article in question, the bill in question is Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Bill 2021. This wasn't approved, but the bill was introduced on the recommendation of this committee, Jaya Jaitley Committee. This committee was established because there were some issues with the nutrition of women. Jaya Jaitley Committee realized that maternal mortality, infant mortality has a close connection or correlation with child marriage. So what the committee mentioned is, if you want to improve on these indicators, maternal mortality and infant mortality, you need to work on child marriage aspect. You need to get this fixed. In India, child marriages still happen. There are laws to prevent it, but this thing happens. So child marriages happen and women conceive at an early age, leading to extreme complications in pregnancy or during pregnancy. So maternal mortality, infant mortality has a close correlation with child marriages, and until we fix this, we can't improve our indicators here. That was the finding of Jaya Jaitley Committee, and because of this, center introduced this act or this amendment bill. Obviously this didn't work out, so this didn't happen, but Himachal Pradesh moved forward and they did the amendment to it. The learning till here is marriage and divorces are concurrent subjects, and Himachal became the first state to equalize the age of marriage. Now let us understand what is the history of age of marriage in India. The first act we are going to mention is Sharda Act. It is also called as Child Marriage Restraint Act 1929, where the age of marriage for men and women, girls and boys, was 14 and 18 years. The act was amended in 1949, where the age of marriage for girls was increased to 15 years. It was again amended in 1978 and age of marriage was increased for girls to 18 years and for boys to 21 years. Then this act 2006 no. So now you notice that this is the actual age which we still follow, 18 years and 21 years. It was fixed in 1978. But there is one more amendment, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, where the child brides can declare their marriage void. Earlier what used to happen was, if you underwent child marriage, then you have to take a divorce out of this marriage. So here it was said that marriage can be declared void if child bride says so. So this is what happened, and these are some important amendments which took place. Now the act is Prohibition of Child Marriage Amendment Act 2020, Amendment Bill 2021, which we are discussing at the moment. Hope this is clear so far. These years you don't need to remember. It's just history which can help you figure out what are the things happening in the country. The facts are not very much important for you at the moment. Now let us discuss if it's a step in right direction. We know that child marriage is a problem, but increasing the age of women for marriage, is it a step in right direction or not? We are going to discuss that aspect. So first we are discussing what are the pros for it. This has been pointed out by Jaya Jaitley committee as well, that there is a link between age of marriage and nutrition. So if you increase the age of marriage for women, their nutrition level is gonna improve. Nutrition level of women as well as nutrition level of children. Delayed marriages, what they do is, there is a risk of early pregnancies. I've mentioned this earlier also. Teenage pregnancies have complications. So this can help with that also. Women can focus on career and education. Here you need to remember that if a woman get married when she is 18, so usually people are generally in 12th standard when they are of the age of 18. So there is no much potential for career and education. Now since the age of marriage can be increased to 21, so this can certainly work out. Here the associated benefits are financial independence, stable career options. These are the associated benefits with this aspect. As Himachal mentioned, it is a step towards gender equality. SDG 5 goal can be achieved. And one more thing, it also breaks stereotypes. Now, the stereotype here is, if you say that the age of marriage for women is 18 and the age of marriage for men is 21, you make a stereotype here where you say that in marriage, women should be younger than men. This creates a stereotype. So if you equalize this thing and you increase this to 21 years, you break this stereotype and you maintain a level playing field for both the genders. So this is one stereotype which is said to be broken by this thing. It improves economic stability, and women are supposed to be more emotional ready to take this burden, because naturally if you get married, the next outcome will be parenthood. So this can make you more emotional ready if you increase the age of the marriage. These are some pros associated with it. Now let's discuss the cons. See, there is one more concept, age of majority. A student or is called as a minor when he is less than 18 years. If your age is greater than 18 years, then you become a major. So age of majority is 18 years irrespective of gender. For girl also, for boy also, it's 18 years. So it's a gender neutral concept. So they are saying that if you make someone a major at 18 years and a person is allowed to vote at the age of 18 years, he is allowed to decide for the nation, then why are you not allowing him to get married? Why are you not allowing the same person to get married? It doesn't make sense. So this is one criticism which came out of it. Like, you've increased the age of marriage, but the age of majority remains the same. Why not make them both 18 years? This is one criticism. Another criticism is, if you increase the age of marriage to 21 years, you restrict the right to marry. A lot of constitutional amendments or a lot of Supreme Court judgments have mentioned that right to marry is a fundamental right. Supreme Court has taken few steps back also in the recent 2023 judgment, where they said that same-sex marriage are not legal in the country at the moment. So here Supreme Court established that right to marry is not a fundamental right and Parliament is the authority in charge to make laws on it. At times, right to marry in some Supreme Court judgments is said to be fundamental rights. The position is not very clear, but the recent judgment says that it's not a fundamental right, but it's still a right. It is still a right, and right to marry is restricted by this law. So that is one of the criticism. Next criticism is the marriage is governed by personal laws. For example, Hindu Marriage Act, Christian Marriage Act are laws which govern marriages in India. So if you uniformly apply one law, then a lot of personal laws has to be changed and there is a legal complication associated with it. Personal laws govern marriages for different religions. This is the case in India. Next is, we are not very sure of the efficiency of laws in reducing child marriage because there was a law in place before also against child marriage. So we are not very sure of it कि if we come up with some strict legislation, child marriage is gonna reduce. So efficiency is questionable. Delayed marriages has some problems. It is noticed that there are some fertility complications associated if you are marrying late. So that complications of family formation could face some challenges. There is a disease called Down syndrome and it is said that it happens if you conceive late, like if a woman is more than 35 years old, so there are complications where your child can have Down syndrome. And one more thing, it is a bit controversial here, but you can see a rise in live-in relationships and premarital pregnancies, and a conservative society like India could not welcome this move or may not welcome this move. So these are some cons associated with it. We have discussed the pros and the cons, and we know the debate or the aspects which we are struggling with at the moment. The center faced the similar issues because of which the act couldn't come forward, but Himachal Pradesh did it, and let's see what it brings to us. And thank you for watching.